Heya! Today we are doing the, what is it? The Stay at Home book tag. But before we begin, I do want to let you know that I have started an online platform called Writer's Wonderland. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. And at the moment it is a bunch of freebies for writers, you know, blurb formulas and dialogue tips and tricks, etc, etc. So a lot of free stuff for writers, and then also a lot of paid perks like a course on how to publish your book on Amazon and how to publish it right, and a lot of keyword things and lots of fun stuff. So yes, if you're interested in any of that stuff, then go to smcphersonbooks.com/writerswonderland. And there's also an Instagram page which is mostly just for writers to talk writerly stuff, and of course I do give tips and tricks on there as well, and that is Writer's Wonderland 2020, because somebody took Writer's Wonderland. I'm very sad about this, but what to do. So yes, if you're interested in any of that stuff, then please go check out Writer's Wonderland 2020 on Instagram, or go to smcphersonbooks.com/writerswonderland and join the creative hub for authors. Okay, now back to the tag. This tag was originally created by Princess of Paperback, and it has 9 prompts. Well, 8 prompts and a bonus prompt, but I'm gonna do them all, so it has 9 prompts. The first prompt is Laying in Bed, a book that you could or have read in a day. Now, I am not the fastest reader, and it takes me a long time to read books. However, there is one series that I devoured within a week, so I probably read each book, because it was a 3-book series, I probably read each book in about 2 days, and that was Legend by Marie Lu. I couldn't put it down. Now, I wouldn't say this is a book that I would read laying in bed, because I'd be too hyped and be like, ah! But it is definitely a book that I could devour in a day or 2 if you read as slow as I do. But yeah, it's a really great story, and I love the characters, and there's just so much tension, and you just need to know what happens next, and you cannot put this down. Prompt number 2 is Snacking All Day, and it is your guilty pleasure book. Now, I have said on many occasions that I don't have guilty pleasure books, because I don't believe that any book is guilty. If you want to read it, and read it with pride. But I would say that probably a book that I read just like willy-nilly and whatever, and not really, you know, profound, I would say, I guess, is probably a fun chick lit book or a swoony romance book, where you're just doing it for all the fun, light, fluffy thrills, and there's no, you know, intense stakes or anything too overly, you know, stimulating for the mind. Number 3 is Netflix, a series you want to start. So I don't have this book because I haven't started it yet and I haven't got it yet, and that is Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I need this book in my life. I need it. I need it in my life. And number 4 is Deep Clean. What has been on your TBR for ages? Guys. A Game of Thrones and the entire series. Clash of Kings is on my shelf, and then I don't have the other books, but they're also just on my TBR. It has been years. I have started it, but I have not finished it. I think I don't have the bookmark anymore, but I think I was about, like, say about here. So I was about 200 pages in, and it's it is a total of, give me a minute. It is a total of 780. So I've got about 580 more pages to go, and it's one of those books with, you know, the small font. So I am making my way through it, but then of course I see new pretty shiny books and they're much shorter, so I'm like, oh well, let me just quickly read that book because I really want to know that story, and then I can go back to this. And I haven't. Although I was actually saying to a friend recently that I don't know now, because he still hasn't released the last book, and I'm like, are we actually going to get that last book? Because of course I've seen the show. I did not care for the finale of the show. Let's leave it at that. But I'm like, do I really want to, you know what I mean, invest so much time and energy and love as I did with the show, only to not get the last book? What? So it's staying on my TBR, and one day I will read it. I will. Number 5 is Animal Crossing, a book you recently bought just because of the hype. This is another book that I haven't got, but I do believe I am going to buy it when I go to the bookstore because of the hype, and that is Midnight Sun. I did really like the Twilight series, you know, when it released, and I still, you know, have great memories and love for the series. However, I don't really know if I want to read Twilight again, but from Edward's point of view. I don't know if it's gonna make much of a difference, but there's hype. There's hype around it, and it's a Twilight book, so I'm probably gonna buy it because of the hype. Number 6 is productivity. What book have you learned something from or that had an impact on your life? So for this question, I've chose both, something that I've learned something from and it had an impact on my life, and that is How Not to Write a Screenplay. So I got this, I don't even know how many years ago, but I remember I really enjoyed it, and you can see I've got lots of highlighted points and plots and things of what I learned. So I learned how to write a screenplay, obviously, through How Not to Write a Screenplay, and I also have other screenplay books, but this was like, I was really young because I wanted to be a screenwriter. I remember reading this and being like, ooh, that's interesting, ooh, that's interesting, and then of course, yes, went on a highlighting spree. So I learned a lot, and it had an impact on the way I wrote scripts in the future, and also on my dialogue creation, which I have now gone to use in, obviously, writing books. Number 7 is FaceTime, and it is a book that you were gifted. So one book that I was gifted, I believe it was last January, my birthday last year, and that was If at Birth You Don't Succeed by Zach Anner. It is a story of his life told from his, perspective and his voice, and it's moving and profound, and he's just such an inspiration. If you don't know him, he has cerebral palsy, and he's in a wheelchair, and it's just, he's a comedian, and it just shows how there's no excuse. You could go on to live a great life and do awesome stuff regardless of your circumstance. So yeah, very uplifting, really nice, really funny, and I really enjoyed it. Number 8 is self-care. What is one thing you have done recently to look after yourself? So I have probably extended my morning routine. Actually, no, I've definitely extended my morning routine because, of course, before I used to wake up and then do my morning routine, but then, get showered, get dressed, and go to work. Now that I'm not going to work, the time that I would normally be en route to work, which is about 20-30 minutes, I've added into my morning mindfulness, meditation, relaxation, yoga, etc. time. So it's really fun. So what I've actually added is that I go outside in the mornings and I sit on my balcony and I put on some, I would say classical music, but it's not, it's instrumental music. It is by 3 cellos. That's what they're called? Yeah, 3 cellos, I believe that's what they're called. I listen to Iris and Sam Smith, and they just do awesome instrumentals with their cellos and violins and awesomeness. Or is it 3 strings? Oh my goodness, what are they called? Give me a second. They're called Simply 3. Simply 3, jeez. Yes, so I listen to Simply 3, and they do awesome instrumentals of like modern day songs, and it's just so nice. So I probably listen to about 3 or 4 of those in the morning, and I sit outside the balcony and I do my book, Transform Your Life. So I write the daily activity for it, and I think the things I'm grateful for, and then I watch the birds and the cars and the, play with my cat and whatever, but it's just like a moment of peace and nice solitude, awesomeness. So yes, that is what I have done since this whole situation of staying at home came in to help with self-care. And number 9, the bonus question is name a book that's coming out soon. And for me, the book that I am super excited to get that is coming out very soon is A Sky Beyond the Storm, which is the 4th book in Sabotahir's A Reaper at the Gates, no, An Ember in the Ashes series, and I cannot wait. It is the finale apparently, so yes, all the loose ends are going to be tied up, and I'm going to get all the answers and all the feels. It is such an amazing series, and I cannot wait, and apparently it's coming out in December of this year. And that is all for the stay-at-home book tag, and as always, I tag all of you to do it too. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you did enjoy this video, then please give it a thumbs up / like, and if you like all my other videos, then please subscribe / follow. And until next time, I'll see you. Bye!